Hello, I'm Gabrielle and welcome back to Cloth Edit. Yes, it has been a long time since I've done an episode. I think the last one was the announcing the winners of the Sew April Blouse 23 challenge. Can you believe it? So a lot has happened between now and then. What can I say? I've got lots of excuses, but I'm very happy to be back with this episode, and it's mainly focused on the latest Club Cloth Edit offering. Here's a picture of the box, beautiful black box this time. It's meant to be something that you can use again to store your goodies in, or to repurpose as a gift box for someone else. So a lot of thought goes into the little bits and pieces. It's a beautiful ribbon as well, a lovely pink and white stripe this time around. So the theme for this box was House of D. So each of the Club Cloth Edit offerings focus on a designer. So the prints are inspired by a particular designer, and it doesn't have to be a current collection. It can go back into their archives. And so what I do each time is when I sort of launch the club offering, a few days before that, I unlock a Pinterest board which has a whole lot of inspiration for that particular designer. So customers can get an idea of the types of prints that will be on offer. Also, it's not a complete mystery in that I give quite good descriptions of what each print will be, particularly colours, what colours a print includes, and also like the size of the motifs, whether they be, you know, small scale or larger scale. So sewers get a bit more of an idea of what print might be right for them. So for the House of D, for Dolce & Gabbana, I don't think I mentioned that, there were 4 print options, and there was Carnival, there was Sea Spectacle, there was Lace Espalier, and there was Mosaic. And so in the box, along with the fabric, whether it was a 2 or 3 meter piece, there's always an option for you. There's also a gift, which I will note, and then there's an 8-page brochure that I write, which explains, you know, it gives some background to the inspiration for that collection, and it sort of highlights which collections in the D&G catalogue archive were important inspiration for the selection of particular prints. So yes, there's quite a bit involved, and I love doing that side of it. I love research. That's my background, doing a lot of research, and I love writing, so that's an important component of the Club Cloth Edit box. Right, so I think I'll start with the fabrics, and I'll talk about what I made in 2 of them a little bit after. So the first one is Carnival, which I'll put some images here. I might move over a bit so I can fit them in. So Carnival has a black background, and the theme, one of the themes that you see all through D&G's collection is what in, you know, artistic terms is called maximalism, and particularly their use of collages, and they often you know, bring in like disparate motifs into little collages across a print. And so I'll probably include some images here as well. These ones I think I had in the brochure, which I'll include here. So they've used all sorts of things if you look through their collections. Animals and cherubs, and just things like even teapots I think they've used as well. So Carnival sort of draws on that idea. So instead of cherubs, for example, and animals, there are female faces and forms, and it includes beautiful flowers, not overly bold. It's a bold print, but probably due to the motifs rather than the colours. A lot of the colours are quite subdued, particularly there's a beautiful soft blue in it. The pale powder blue flowers on it are just superb. I'm looking over here so I can see it rather than looking down. And some beautiful pinks and, plummy purples. And there's yellow and orange. And what I love about it, the Carnival print, is it incorporated animal print in it. So on the ladies, you can see like a zebra print and a tiger print. The tiger print sort of features in a number of different ways. And another thing I loved about it is that within the print, there's this use of headdresses. And, for those who are fans of Dolce & Gabbana, you know that they often use headdresses in their parades. Yes, so that is Carnival, and I'll talk about what I made in my piece of Carnival in a little bit. So the next print was entitled Sea Spectacle. Now, as I was going through Pinterest looking at all the collections, I've always loved the way that they use larger scale animals, and all through a number of collections they use fish. Some are really large scale and some are smaller. And there's one in particular that has a red background, which is just superb. So when I sort of found this print, I just thought it was perfect to include in the collection. So this also, Sea Spectacle, has a red background, and it sort of sits right in the middle. It's not too warm, and it's not cool. It's right in the middle, and you can't tell probably, but up close it has a mottled effect on portions of it as well to sort of calm it down a little bit. And it just has fish all over it, just little sort of stylized fish. So in all sorts of colors, aqua and green and pink and black and white, and a bit of orange, muted on this. All the colors are a bit muted. And there's also some flowers all over it, sort of a grey-blue flower all over it as well. So yes, so that is Sea Spectacle. I haven't mentioned this before, but the actual cloth, I should have mentioned this before, is a Ramy, and sometimes it's called Ramy linen, but Ramy and linen are two different things. Ramy is another natural fibre, and a lot of designers are going for it because of the eco credentials. The processing of the fibre uses far fewer chemicals, and its colour fastness is very good. Its durability is very, very good. It's a great cloth, and it has that same sort of effect. So when it's new, it's just like linen. It has that very sort of flat surface, and once it's washed, it develops that sort of very linen look to it. It doesn't seem to need as much ironing as linen either. It's really great. I'm a very big fan of it. Right, so that's the cloth, and that's the first two of the prints. Now the third print is called Mosaic, and this is it here. This is my piece, and I can't wait to make this probably in summer. So Mosaic, if you have a look in the Pinterest board that I mentioned earlier, some of Dolce & Gabbana's most famous collections are where they use tile print, either as a border to scenes or just the motif of just tiles, whether they're coordinating or contrasting and clashing, and patchwork. Sort of there when they played with patchwork not many years ago. So those two types of prints are iconic in the D&G archive. And so when I saw this mosaic, which is a mosaic of tiles, it was just perfect to include in the collection. And what I also loved it, because I'm always keeping in mind that people have different tastes, and while I love blue, a lot of people like warmer colours. So yeah, this includes a whole lot of different colours, so yellows and oranges, and blues and greens, and purples, well, more mauve really. Yeah, so it's another stunning print. I love also the fact that it includes little things, in little portions have polka dot in both yellow, and then there are some black and white portions of polka dot as well. So that's the mosaic print. The last one is called Lace Espalier. Now this is inspired by the recent collections that feature lace, black lace especially. And there was one collection that was just nearly all black with lots and lots of lace. But if you look back through all their collections, there's often a black lace dress. Yeah, so they've always loved it. And this one, this particular print has, it's not lace, but it has a black lace that becomes, the background of the fabric. And on top of that, you have the espalier effect of these roses all over it. And I loved that they're a smaller scale. I also loved that they weren't bright colours, so it's more of a cognac and sort of a dusty pink. And yes, so, and as far as the flowers go, there are a number of Dolce & Gabbana prints that have that smaller scale all over floral design. And in particular, I'll just put some samples here. So that's the fourth one, Lace Espalier. So the first make I want to talk about is the one I'm wearing, and I used the Carnival fabric. And what I made was the Size Me Serene dress. That one here. I'll put a picture here. I've always wanted to make this as soon as I got them in stock, so I'm so glad that I've made it now. It's a lovely romantic tiered dress. The tier sort of starting from the lower thigh, which I love, and it's got some gentle gathers at the waist, and a full sleeve, no gathers at the sleeve head, but gathers 3/4 sleeve and a lovely beautiful full sleeve. There are two options of a V-neck and a round neck. I went for the round neck and I'm really glad that I did. A couple of things that I changed. It does have a little split and button opening at the back, and I didn't do that. I just figured I could get it over my head, and I could. And what I did was I ended up lining, instead of having a facing, I lined the bodice, just the bodice, just for a nice finish, and that worked really well. The ties, there are two tie ends, and they're sewn on to elastic. So you know, so you can, you know, tie it up, and there's some give, so it's not as uncomfortable. And also I find that elastic doesn't roll like narrow ties do, so I think it's just a practical solution as well. What I love about this pattern is the fit of it. So there isn't a lot of fullness, like it fits really well in the upper chest and back and under the arm. It's a beautiful fit. And then there's not too much excess fabric around the waist and hips. So there's a bit of gathering here, but it's not voluminous. And then the hips, there's just enough ease on the hips, which I really love. Highly recommend it. It's a really, really great pattern. And I made the C spectacle print in the Lilia by Named Patterns. Now, one of Named Patterns or Named Clothing, one of their biggest sellers is the Kilo wrap dress, which is a knit wrap dress. And so many people have tried their hand at, me included, making a woven version with that pattern. And there was, for me anyway, there was just too much redrafting because of the size of the sleeve. Anyway, mine didn't work. So I was so excited when they launched the Lilia in essentially the Kilo, but a woven fabric version, and it also includes options. So it has a blouse option and neckline option, so a round neck and a square neck option. Now I love a square neck, so I went for that one, and I'm glad I did. I really like it. The sleeve has a lovely little bit of fullness just at the top of the sleeve head. The bodice fits really well. It has, where are they, darts that start at the front armhole coming down to the bust, which I didn't think was going to fit well, but once I actually tried it on, it worked really well. I think I did shorten mine 1 centimetre or 2, so you might want to check that if you are making this. I just made the maxi length version. This is as per the pattern, so the square neckline, you're not going to need any openings, so the actual pattern doesn't have an additional opening there. It's just beautiful. There are darts, fisheye darts at the back for some nice shape, and really lovely long ties that you can wrap around, and just a sort of a slim skirt shape. So the pictures that Named, the samples that Named make are in a viscose, so it's just very soft and drapey. And I loved the idea of playing with a Ramy to give a bit of structure to that skirt, and I think it's worked really well. It's just, I don't know, just modern, looks modern. I love it. So that's the C spectacle, what I made in C spectacle. Right, what's next? What am I going to make with my others? Well, my lace espalier, I've got some ideas. I love the Vampire's Wife dresses. So Vampire's Wife sadly has gone out of business, but you can still see their dresses on Pinterest. It was a London brand, a London label, and it was a real favourite for the celebs and royals. And what's interesting, it's just a simple dress. So it's just a fitted bodice, like the core dress of their collection, that they just redid in different prints. So it's just a simple fitted bodice and just a straight skirt or with a frill. Some of the skirts were a bit more A-line, and often a feature was the frill at the end of the sleeve. So they just did it really well, and I think they were so successful because of the prints that they used and the colours, and yeah, they just caught a moment, I think. So I love the idea of doing the lace espalier in something like that, and having maybe a contrasting fabric for the like the lining of the ruffle on the edge of the sleeve. I think that would look really nice, and I would do that in either a lace, and I've kept some little scraps of lace that I've had over the years, and I've also got in a black lace, a crocheted lace just in the store at the moment. So that's another option. So either of those, or just even a plain black lawn would be lovely, or a contrasting little floral. So anyway, something like that. And so that got me thinking, like looking at that sort of style. And I've got another fabric that I want to play with that, but I'll show you that after. So the Mosaic, it's such a summer print. I'm really tempted to do an old favourite, that Vogue dress that I love. I would love to do that, or something similar to that. I know Monster Fabriken, or have a similar sort of dress, a similar vibe. I'll pop it here because I forget the name. And Atelier Scammit also have a dress with a similar vibe. So that is, I think, the sort of look I'll go for. But that will definitely be a spring make. And I can't wait to wear it. Right, so now back to that inspiration for that Vampire's Wife style dress in the lace espalier. So I really want to do one in this fabric. So Cloth Edit is the exclusive stockist for Art Luxe fabrics in Australia and New Zealand also, and mainly I stock their superb, beautiful cotton lawns. Everything that it's all made in their Italian factory, and when I had a previous Art Luxe box, this was one of the other fabrics that I had ordered as well. So it's a beautiful, I've forgotten the name, I'll put it here. It's a beautiful poppy print with a navy background, which I really love, with gorgeous greens and pinks, really soft yellow, orange, red, both a sort of tomato red and a deeper red, purple and white. It's just beautiful. It has a direction to it. You can sort of see the direction of the stems. So I have had that cut for some time with one of these vampire's wife dresses in mind. And this is quite reminiscent of some of their, floral designs that they did. And I think it'll just be beautiful. And I've grabbed this also because I think what I want to do is have that really striking green for the lining of the sleeve, that frill that I want to put on the sleeve. Yes, so that's what I think I'll do. Other than that, the other alternative to have as a contrast is this fabric also has a different colorway with a white background. Has the same flowers but with a white background, so that might be another idea as well. So that's that idea, and I've just got a couple of other little plans that I thought I'd share as well. So this one here was a new print and it sold very quickly, and I'm lucky I snapped some of this colorway up. So this is a beautiful floppy, really lovely weight. I think it's 130, 135 GSM viscose. It's just lovely quality. And so this one has a tan taupe background with really gorgeous greens, yellow and pink. There are two other colorways which I still have. I don't think you can see them. They are over there. So there's a blue. It's a real grey blue background, again with beautiful colours, and there's like a dusty pink background as well, which is beautiful. What am I going to do with this? I want to make this up quickly because in winter, mainly when I'm working, especially if it's after the weekend, lots of packing, that sort of thing. In winter, all I wear is black trousers, like jogger sort of style, and blouses. And if it gets cooler, I'll pop like a pullover over the top. And I've just made another pair of joggers, which I'm glad I did. I'm just going to hook that on there, because I've been wearing the same two pair and they're just both getting very tired. And I knew I had some nice black, this is just a black Japanese, gosh, it feels a bit like moleskin fabric but lighter. And I knew I had that in there, so I thought I'll quickly run up those because I really need some trousers. And what I did, excuse me, is, where are they? A Wardrobe by Me pattern. Here it is. The easy pants. And I made them really easy because they have a welt pocket at the back. And I thought, I'm not doing that. I want a super quick make. And they're really good. When I was making them, I thought, oh no, those legs look too small. They're going to look terrible. Which is what I always think about trousers and why I hate making them. But these look great. I find them flattering. They come in, they're tapered, so they're not too full down the bottom, but they've got a bit of fullness. Well, not excess fabric. They just fit really well. So I just went straight off my measurements and just hoped that would work. And it did. And they have lovely side pockets. which I use, so to avoid any bulk I just used some black lawn or voile in those. So that's what I wear a lot in winter, black pants and blouses, and I want another blouse with some black in it, which this one does, that I can team with that, and it'll still look, you know, smart. So I've got two ideas. One is another Marni, which I love. I love wearing my Marni blouses, and I always feel good in them, and it's just because they have that fitted upper portion of the sleeve, and then there's fullness, and I think that would just be so lovely in like a floppy viscose. My other Marnis are in a cotton, Japanese cotton, so I'm interested to play with the viscose for one of them. And the other option is something from my stash from what year? 1987. I was in grade 12 in high school in 1987. And it looks nothing here, but I knew it would be great, and I love this. So I've made this before in a viscose, and it's brilliant. So this one has that very dated band on the bottom of it, but I just omit that. And why I love it, I'm going to just come close because I don't want to try and find images and so forth, and I'll just show you the line drawings. So why I love it is that it's a bat wing, and it sits on the shoulder really beautifully, and the sleeve, like the bat wing, sort of starts slightly on the bust, and then it's quite fitted, or it comes in at least at the waist and hips, so there's no excess, not a lot of excess fabric, and I always feel really good in it. And as I don't know if I've mentioned, the previous one I made is in a viscose, and so yeah, I want to make something that I know I'll love, because I really love this fabric. I don't want to try something new. So that's what I'm thinking. So that's a few plans. Probably the first on my list is this one, and then I might get to the first of my Vampire's Wife dresses, and I think I'll start with the Art Luxe floral first. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what that will look like. So I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly hope it's not going to be a huge gap in between the next one, because I do want to share those makes, and also I really need to get back into sewing a bit more. Yeah, so I need to do that, not because I need to do creative things just for my mental health, because I can let my work envelop all, you know, every day of the week. So I'm trying to do a bit more sewing. Right, I think that's it. I hope you are well. It's a beautiful day here on the Gold Coast. It's been a bit rainy, but it's cleared up today and the sun is shining, so which is lovely. So I wish you well and have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.